Then the next night we saw. So cool thing was Asterism. They were totally cool with video and film, with video and photos.
Nice.
Like completely cool with it. So there, I have a lot of video. Well, Amanda took video. I got some photos. So I got to sort through all like hundreds of photos of various things, locations and whatever. So I will be including those in a more in-depth video. Sokoninaru did not allow any video or photo. So the only picture I can share them is like the stage, which I still
Bummer.
that's their choice, but I don't understand why fans won't allow that now. But whatever. The show was just uh, mind meltingly good. It was absolutely probably the one of the best performances I've ever seen in my life. I know I keep saying that every time I see a band, but they were if you haven't listened to them, check them out. I mean, obviously listen to them anyway, but um there's a technical aspect of their playing that is with the stops and starts and how many different guitar sounds and effects that go on. And the drummer sings probably 75-80% of the time as he's playing the most insane beats I've ever heard in my life. And it sounds like it's just a technical uh, editing masterpiece. And then you see him live and they do absolutely all that shit live.
And it's
Everything,
Oh my
just
all the
gosh.
stops, everything is super clean. The vocals are super clear. Their harmonies are on point. I didn't hear anything that was off. It was it was insane, dude. Like I could not believe it.
it doesn't even make sense. It
No,
doesn't
it
even make
doesn't.
sense. It
It was
doesn't.
just
No.
the craziest thing. The sound was the best sound I've heard from a band. I don't know, out of any of them. It
Hmm.
was Bandmaid's last show I went to had great sound, and this was that good, if not better. Because when Juko would play a solo, his guitar got louder instead of quieter, and it
Hmm.
was in
Wow.
stereo with like effects,
Hmm.
so it was like enveloping the room, but it didn't overpower
Are
anything. It was
That's
absolutely
so
brilliant.
rare.
I got a question. Are the
Mhm.
tones better live than on the CD? Because my thing with Sokoninaru, the tones are a little weird to me on the CD. Do they sound better live, would you say?
So you talk about like guitar wise.
Guitar wise. Not the yeah, because
Yeah,
the rest
so
of the tones
he
are
had,
great.
he uses a very jangly, cleanish, like a harsh clean tone, and I would say it was a little more aggressive live, but
Okay.
it's still that very kind of edgy, clean tone. But when it goes heavy, dude, it like you need a forklift just to fucking find the next melody. It's insane.
Yeah.
Because when it goes heavy, it goes really heavy, and it's
Ah.
so yeah. That jangly aspect of his tone is there, um, but it was so clear. And my only critique at all would be that the drums were a little louder than I would have liked, but I was totally cool with it because he's probably I don't even know what to say about him, dude.
Hmm.
You gotta watch the videos, watch live videos, and it's just exactly what it sounds like.
Awesome.
Fucking crazy.
Wait,
Now,
coming from the drummer's perspective, how hard would it be to do a Sokoninaru beat while singing? Scale from 1 to 10.
singing clean harmonies
My gosh.
in
12?
3-part harmony.
Dude, I can't even imagine. I'll just put it that way. It's
There's so much
insane.
potential. There's so much potential for them to be messy as fuck on stage. So the
Doing
fact that
double-
they're not,
Yeah, doing double kick and controlling the hi-hat with his hand and singing. Like,
yeah.
what the heck, dude?
It's so
Yeah.
funny because like you think about bands like when they try to get a little too technical on stage, a lot of the time it gets lost in the mix, you know. And so that's why a lot of bands would prefer to keep it simple because it's easier to follow on for the audience on stage. They create songs that are the epitome of the other end of that spectrum, where it's just like they could go out there and it could sound like just if you're not perfect at your instruments, it would sound so disastrous.
Yeah. If you listen to one of their songs and you hear the bass do a half a measure with crazy distorted bass for one line, Misaka, she does it live.
Yeah.
Like she'll touch on a pedal and do the half a measure line and then turn it off and never touch it again. Juko does
That's
that with
fucking
delays.
nuts.
He does it with it's just whatever. I saw this and I'm like, what the? How does this work? And I was uh, the bass player. She seems in the video. She seems like very shy. but she did most of the emceeing, and she was totally comfortable and totally like in her element. It was really cool to see.
Oh, nice.
Now, granted, I didn't understand any of what they were saying, but you could tell she was cracking jokes and comfortable. And then Juko didn't talk a lot, but when he did, they were all like laughing and having a good time. Drummer would pop in every once in a while. Plato, and it was really cool. I didn't know what to expect from them. The music is so tight and so technical that I thought maybe they wouldn't talk at all. I had no idea, but they were totally happy and just totally cool, joking with the crowd.
So
and then I looked up.
I was gonna say Asterism is also coming to the U.S. for July 1st and July 2nd. So at the Anime Expo and in Los Angeles.
Yeah, freaking LA and New York.
In Santa Ana, California, and New York City.
Lucky.
Well, yeah, for those, I won't be seeing them. So yeah, I looked up some information on the band. Actually, who was it? Somebody shared an interview with Sokoninaru from a radio show, and they talked a little bit about how they started and the process. And Juko, the guitar and vocalist, what we know from Konami is kind of the same process. He writes everything, all the drums, all the bass, all the guitar, everything, and presents it to the other two members, and they play it. And they said, "Well, is your drummer ever? Is it anything ever seem impossible?" He's like, "Yes, they get criticized quite a bit because what they want is impossible, but somehow they always pull it off." It's like, dude, you got to be fucking kidding me. That's why they're so crazy, because he writes it and it's like, "Here, do this," and they're like, right.
You play until you get it.
Yeah. And while you're doing that, I need a third harmony right here.
Oh my gosh.
That seems like the epitome of that. Like you really don't know what you're capable of until you try it, right? It's like if somebody handed me that shit too, I would be like, there is literally no way in hell ever, no matter how many years I dedicate to this, that I will be able to pull that off.
Wait, what's the BPM? Oh,
yeah, that's one of those things where you need.
And the answer to that question is 30 different answers.
Right.
It's where you have to like totally lose consciousness of where you are and just like go into the avatar state. That kind of focus where you're just like in the zone. What's that called again?
What was that movie? Soul. Remember that movie Soul?
Oh yeah,
all about that.
Shit, I'm picturing video games where like you can slow down time and like
the jazz piano where he would get into it was like autopilot mode or whatever, where it was like super focused, and it was like you leave time and space to focus on your instrument.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. Like those elite musicians. I mean, I used to be able to access that state with nowhere near as much skill, but like where you could just be focused and make no mistakes and just do it. And then the older I get, the more I overthink things and like I get in my head, which is exactly where you're not supposed to be when you're doing that.
I play like that when I'm playing by myself and I'm not recording.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way to prove it.
Flow state. Yes, thank you.
Flow state. Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, that's totally true though. Like it's so much easier to get into that state when you're not trying to actually accomplish anything in that moment.
Yeah. Just do it.
Right. Cool. So yeah, they absolutely blew my mind. They didn't get to meet them. They weren't out at the merch table or anything after that. They just their show. They talked quite a bit with the crowd and stuff. Their Poji-san pointed me and my family out as we were from the States, and they were like, "Oh wow, that's really cool." Yeah, it was an incredible show.
Hey guys, thank you for watching. The Gaijin guys this year are really trying to up our game in the Japanese music news space, so we really rely on our Patreon supporters and our members over here on YouTube, so thank you so much. So if you guys can help, consider becoming a Patreon supporter or a member, and you also get exclusive group reactions from all of the guys. Stay awesome, everyone. See you in the next one. See you!